This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Hey, how's it going? I am Stu, the originator of Suck My Ass. She is Emily, who used to look on the bright side of life. Welcome to this. Hi.
Hi. I do still look on the bright side of life.
Not as much as you used to, though.
Oh, maybe it's your influence.
That could be. And I don't know if I'm proud of that or not. I'm not sure if I'm proud or ashamed at this point, because it's valid to be less looking on the bright side of life these days. But maybe if you don't point that stuff out, maybe it's easier. Maybe you're not ignorant, but maybe it's a little bit of an ignorance is bliss thing. If you didn't know about all the terrible things, you'd be happier.
I think maybe. In my real life, I'm still very much on the bright side of things and looking at stuff positively. Things are great. There's no point focusing on all of the things that are out of our control and that suck. You know, you can't control what's happening in the world. The only thing that you can control is how you respond to it.
That and people. You can try to control people.
How's that working out for you?
Not that great.
Yeah.
I basically just threw that in for the bit. I would say, honestly, I have the instinct to control people, but I don't think I do it that much. I get frustrated with people, but...
I feel like you can't really control people. You can only control yourself. And if you feel like you want to control people or you have a need to control people, you should probably look at that.
I for sure have a need to try to control situations. I am always the person that looks at something that says, okay, this could happen. It's probably going to go the worst way possible. I should prepare for that. And it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are like that. I also like to try and predict what might happen and have options for things. I think that's part of the human condition. I don't understand people who are just like, I'll figure it out if it happens.
Cruise through life, see what happens. Yeah, I can't do that.
No, either can I. I also feel like I'm not a passenger in my life. Like I have goals. I'm very self-motivated. I'm not going to like sit around and wait for shit to happen to me or for me. If I want to do something, I'm just going to go and do it.
Yeah. Like you got to make it happen and you got to put it out there and press the button. And sometimes that's a good move and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of people who are out there waiting to be rescued. Like they're some, princess. No, not me. I'm out here rescuing myself or rescuing others.
Yeah. I used to be a total princess looking to be rescued, but it didn't work out. So.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Didn't kiss enough toes. Prince Charming didn't come and sweep you up on his bicycle. The
dress didn't fit right. And I decided at that point to just get out of it and just move on because fairy godmother, whole fucking thing,
Yeah. I am appreciative for that phase of your life because that tiara still looks really good on you.
I only break it out on special occasions. You have to clean it and polish it and make it all sparkly. And what is that Taylor Swift song? I clean up nice or whatever it is. Yeah. Bejeweled.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited that they got married.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. He's not right for her, but it'll work through and maybe they'll get a divorce. We'll see. And I realized too, looking at all the pictures of them together, that part of what bothers me about him, Travis Kelce, is all the pictures that they have that they're circulating in the media are her looking as wonderful as she does and him in some big dumb bucket hat. If he just was not wearing that stupid bucket hat, I would like him more. But it just says I'm an idiot to me.
Do you ever think that if you really did like her and really did care about her, that you would be happy that she's happy?
Yeah, and that's the only reason I can live with things as they are now. Because if I was more so leaning the way I would like to live like she should be with me, I'd be one of those crazy psychos that she has. But I'm not that guy, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
July 4th. Did you go do fireworks? I sent you a little bit about my July 4th, but what did you do?
Absolutely. We blew up a lot of stuff and story time.
Oh, okay.
On July the 3rd, we were invited by some friends to go and grill at the pool, had some hot dogs, and to blat off some fireworks when the sun went down. And that was super fun. And we used up the fireworks that we had left over from New Year's Eve.
Blat, great word,
Blat.
by the way.
Thank you. Then, 4th of July, the little one wakes up in the morning and wants to go and purchase more fireworks for the actual 4th of July because we often put on a fireworks show at our house for all of our neighbors. So Robert the drug runner was like, yes, I'm going to take you down to the fireworks place. He says to me over our morning coffee, how much should we spend? I was like, okay, well, we still have some left over. Let's put a budget on it of, one of these boxes or whatever. They're $169 per tax. Plus tax, rather. So I said, okay, why don't we aim for around that? He's like, yeah, that sounds really good. Great idea. 2 hours pass and they are back home and the little one is ecstatic, just like so happy. My husband comes and sits down next to me and I was like, okay, so what ended up happening? He's like, well, we took all of our fireworks to check out and it rung up to be $300. I was like, okay, that seems like a lot. He's like, yeah, but then she said to us, if you get $800 worth of fireworks, you can have them for $400. And I said, oh, and he goes, that's a good deal. And I was like, well, I guess it is a good deal. He's like, also, look at my new shirt. And so this is the story of how my family paid $400 for $800 worth of fireworks and why my husband is now proudly wearing a fireworks store t-shirt.
Wow, they upsold the fuck out of him. That's funny.
They did, and it was great. I am very supportive of it. It was a lot. I was laughing my ass off. And then that night we had the funniest time ever. And we still have more than half of these fireworks left over. They were blatting off professional grade mortars and the neighbors were coming out and filming and cheering. And so it was a lot of fun in our little neighborhood. And 4th of July was fantastic. We just hung out in our neighborhood. We have this massive parade. We don't go to the parade. My friends went to this free concert. Lots of fun stuff to do. We just hung out at home and shot off fireworks. And it was great.
You're one of those families that is the focus of the neighborhood for the 4th of July. Hey, let's go over there and watch them light it off. You're going to have that memory, and you're also going to have the memory of that whole situation every time your husband wears that shirt. That'll be fun.
Yeah, exactly. The next day, 5th of July, he got up and put that shirt on.
There you go.
And every time he turns around, because it's black with the logo on the back in gold, and every time he turns around, I giggle a little bit. But we're making memories for our kids. Ordinarily, I wouldn't, that's a lot of money, right? Especially to be spending it on fireworks. But I got a good story out of it. I was laughing so hard at the table when he was telling me about how he got upsold.
Yeah.
And he was delighted to have fallen victim.
That's like having a crew shirt of your favorite band. It says, hey, I'm part of this band almost, that shirt. That's pretty great.
Yeah. And it was fun. My kids were curating the show and announcing to all of our neighbors who had gathered what was going to happen. Okay, now this is a fountain that's going to last for 6 minutes.
Get out the stopwatch. Double check.
Exactly. And the eldest, who's very conscientious and safety conscious, on the 3rd of July, he was like, okay, you need to be back certain amounts of feet. And he's like, okay, you all need to move back from this.
Get out of the splash zone.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the safety guy. And they're finally allowed to light the fireworks with those long things because they're nearly teenagers. So It was a big moment for them. They've never been allowed to do it before. And so this was a big year for them. And I've got these amazing videos of them running away from the fireworks. And then as they're blowing up, them just screaming out, America! America! America!
Now, they were doing that, obviously, ironically. Of all the people that were there, how many people picked up on that? How many people joined you in the irony of shouting America?
All of the kids.
Okay, that's good.
It was hilarious.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I had my traditional thing where I avoided fireworks on the 4th of July. And there was this thing that was happening here in LA at the LA Coliseum. It was this big drone show. And I saw a drone show once. Did you look at that video I sent you? Probably didn't have time. You've been working.
Which one?
I sent you a video on text, and oh my God, you say drone show, and people kind of go, oh yeah, well, it's okay. It's fucking amazing, and I'm trying not to swear, but it was so amazing what they did with these. And I'll say right now, drones, better than fireworks. What they did with music and drones that were showing pictures and animated and syncing to the music. And it started out in this very traditional thing with fifes and We the People and all these things being displayed. And then it transitions into Tom Petty's American Girl. And they have all this cool music that's mixed together. And this whole thing was on NBC, hosted by Queen Latifah. Sorry to say. I like her, but a lot of fake energy. I can't take a bunch of fake energy. And she had just tons of it. But if you can go back and find on NBC this thing that happened on the 4th of July from the LA Coliseum, it's really incredible. And they had musical acts that were all pretty good. Chaka Khan, who I liked, was good. She's a great singer. But, and maybe this is just me, anybody else that sees this, when you watch this, they mixed her high end up so high that it was like piercing to your ears. And it was like, oh my God, who's making that decision? She sang great, but it was hard to hear. And then the headliner was Chris Stapleton, who I don't like country music usually, but he is just the most talented individual in music today, I think. It's just incredible how good he is.
Oh, that sounds so good. And I do like drone shows.
Yeah, it was really incredible.
I would prefer personally to go and watch a drone show than to go somewhere to watch fireworks.
Yeah.
But I also like to blow shit up. So
well, they did the drone show and then they had a lot of blow shit up at the end. It was like, okay, a good combo for everybody, good big LA thing. And I was on a date a couple years ago and we stumbled on to some Halloween drone show that happened. And that was where I saw one in person. Just like, wow, that's really cool. And watching this on TV wasn't quite that good, but it was also bigger and grander. And it was just like, wow, that was so well done. And I think if things keep going the way they're going to where we kill our environment, it might be better if we just went with drone shows alone always. That's something to consider. I think if you look at it, it's better anyway.
Yeah. It's probably going to happen anyway because it's just cheaper.
Yeah, they can hire these companies to come out. And I'm trying to make sense in my head how it all works. They must have a big sheet of these things that are up there and then they flash different colors and maybe they adjust position and move around. But the fact that they can be that close to each other and not bump into each other and do that is really incredible. Modern technology. What the fuck?
It's amazing. It's just like a giant LCD screen. And just think about each one of them being a pixel.
Yeah.
But they do fall out of the sky.
On people?
Yes.
That I want to see.
And they do run into each other.
But they only fall out of the sky and fall on bad people, right?
Or into water. They often do them above bodies of water or large fields. They can't do them over the top of people.
That's why we have so many sharks that are pissed off. The sharks are pissed about the drones falling into their land.
Hopefully there's not too many sharks in the rivers.
Sharks are everywhere.
In tornadoes. Did you see that?
Sharknado.
Did you see that thrilling documentary, Sharknado?
I have seen pictures of it. I have not watched it.
My kids watched that and they were so hyped up about how ridiculous it was. It was funny.
This also leads me to what I discovered last night, and I was thinking about this is going to be a new job of the future, and that is drone sniper. We have all these fires in California and around the country, and the big thing now is that when there is a fire, idiots will get drones and go up in the air to look at the fire, and it interferes with aircraft and is dangerous and makes things bad for the fire workers. So I think we need to have a new job, and that is drone sniper. It'll just be one guy guy whose job is to go out there and see the drone and get the gun and aim and just take it out. And it will be so satisfying. And then there will be no more drone idiots. And I'm a guy that owns a drone.
That job already exists.
Huh?
And there are already tools for it as well. There are nets that can be deployed. There are firearms that can be deployed. But sniping drones is definitely a thing.
An actual job? It's a job called drone sniper?
I don't know if it's the job description. But like, for example, in Ukraine with the war,
yeah,
it's being fought almost entirely by drones.
I've seen the stuff that the Ukrainians have done with drones. It's pretty incredible.
It's all drone sniping.
Yeah. All right. Well, but we need specific firework drone snipers. Guys that make $60,000 a year just to go out and snipe drones. That's what I want for people. We can afford it.
That would be nice.
Take it out of the Trump cryptocurrency.
Oh my God. That guy is absolutely fucking cracked. Yeah. Did you see some of the shit that was coming out of his mouth at NATO this week? He's
just beyond demented, and he's so out of it and terrible.
Here is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. These words exited his mouth hole.
Yeah.
The Islamic Republic of Japan.
I had not heard that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. He called Zelensky Putin.
Oh.
While sitting next to him.
He's not making fun of his outfit anymore because he's so out of it. He just doesn't even care, and he's just trying to keep it going. Remember that was the thing? Zelensky showed up in a nice-looking black outfit, and they gave him shit for not thanking them and wearing a black, nice outfit. Fuck you.
Oh, for not wearing a suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, the man's fighting a fucking war. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And there is no way that Trump should be running our country. He is mentally defective.
I just keep wanting it to keep going because he's going to take all of them down with them. And they're all starting to see they're all going to get taken down with him. And just keep it going. It's fine. The business as usual is the way we want to go.
Oh, my God. And what about Mitch McConnell, that turtle-looking motherfucker?
The guy that might be dead and they're not sure if he's not dead, but at the very least he's in a coma.
Yeah, or in a hospital on life support, whatever. He had like a heart attack 20-something days ago now and is still in the hospital. Regardless of if he's not a fucking vegetable, he's not doing any work.
Right.
So,
well, the theory is that he may already be dead, but they're not putting that out there because then they have to either put somebody in or leave Massey in. I forget how that all works out, but there's a conspiracy theory about all that.
There is indeed. Guess where his wife is?
The Poconos?
China, because she's Chinese.
Oh, well, they got to send her back. Her and Melania, they've all got to be sent back. We can't have those people in this country.
Well, I mean, if your husband was in the hospital, don't you think you'd be by his bedside?
Not if he was Mitch McConnell.
Not fleeing to China?
I'd be celebrating, taking the money that he pilfered from the United States and going to China. I think she's a stand-up woman that's doing the right thing. Yeah.
Gross. He looks like a turtle.
He does. He looks like a video game character, but I can't remember who it was. It was in like Sly Cooper. There's a turtle in Sly Cooper that I think he looks like. Bentley. He looks like Bentley the turtle. Look it up.
I will look it up.
Bentley the goddamn turtle. So you mentioned Trump. I was going to start talking about Trump, and his state fair celebration was canceled. Oh, pumpkin. I like to say, oh, pumpkin. It's very condescending. And I also did a couple memes about the fact that weather was the bad cause of him having to cancel his big event. One meme was, how long until he tries to sue someone for weather crimes? He's crazy enough that you could see him trying to sue the Weather Channel or something because he had bad weather. In fact, has that happened yet? It could be. I'm not even sure.
I don't think that it's happened.
Okay. We can look for that.
Can look for that.
This is genuine and sincere. The real reason Trump Fair was canceled, low crowd attendance, it would look really bad, and they didn't want to see what evil grandpa would babble about in 100-degree heat. I think probably they were concerned about those two things and the weather, and they said, hey, we have a good excuse to cancel this. Probably we should. What do you think about that?
Was it canceled though? Because I saw all the videos of how shit it was. I think
they didn't
had
do performances.
Yeah, and so they sent people out for the weather, and then they made them come back in for his speech.
And there were no
again.
performances, and then eventually at 11 o'clock, they just had the fireworks go off. And that was it.
And then people were leaving while he was still talking.
I don't think he did a speech at all.
Oh.
That was my understanding of it anyway. And I don't understand why they didn't have Jesus help him because, you know, he's on the side of Jesus, the white Christian nationalists. I don't know why Jesus didn't help them because even Biden's giant space laser, not a match against Jesus. Why didn't Jesus help them is my question. It's my literal question. Literally.
I think anybody who's a Christian will be able to answer that question for you, which is because white Christian nationalists don't represent the teachings of Jesus. And in fact, if Jesus was alive today, they'd probably try to deport him or have him killed.
He is a foreigner. He's not of this country.
He's also brown.
Yeah, good point. That's the best point ever, that Jesus was brown.
Yeah, Jesus was a brown, like, Jewish guy.
Jesus was brown. Get him out of here. And see, I see this stuff happen, and it's almost like weather is trying to get Trump between this and stuff that happened at his UFC event. I see these weather things happening, and I am like now iffy if maybe there is a God. Like, I don't know that there's a God. I don't know that there is or isn't. And then stuff like this happens, and I think, what about maybe there is a God? And then I hear Kate Bush on Peter Gabriel's Don't Give Up, and I think maybe there is a God.
Maybe there is a God. And maybe all of this weather is him expressing his dissatisfaction.
Have you ever heard Kate Bush on Peter Gabriel's Don't Give Up?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure that I have, but I don't have unaided recall of it.
Well, if you end this show and think of it, go and listen to that. And it's not even like, oh, Stu loves Kate Bush. But when you hear her, you might literally think, okay, that makes sense. And that justifies that there is a God. And what if Kate Bush is God?
That's an interesting theory. What if Kate Bush is God? I'm sure that there's a number of people who might believe in that.
Yeah. I don't know that I do, but she's the best example I can find. And when you hear that, you'll just be like, okay, that makes sense to me. Could be good case for religion, Stu, the religion of Kate.
I wonder what its core tenets would be, the religion of Kate.
Running up that hill a lot. And don't give up.
That seems like an allegory for everyone's life already.
And a big commentary on the Army Dreamers.
Also.
Waking the Witch. And I could just keep naming songs if you want. The Dreaming. Just keep dreaming about the dreaming.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Kate Bush is God, but I do feel like if there is a God, they are a woman.
Could be. Because they talk about Mother Earth and all that stuff. Could be.
Yeah. And if they did it by themselves without somebody writing them a list, that's the big giveaway for me.
Wait, please explain.
There's a big internet commentary, I guess, which is around how lots of men need to be told exactly what to do, which is, I'll do it for you, or I'm happy to help. I want to be helpful. But just in life and everything, they need a set of instructions. Go to the grocery store? Great. Give me a list. Need me to help you? Great. Oh, I would have helped you, but you just needed to tell me what to do. Why are you so mad about it? You know, all of that kind of thing. And so it was a joke about this online meme.
There is discussion in this because I can see that point and I can see where dumb dudes would be like that sometimes. But as a man, I often feel like women sometimes get angry and resentful about things that aren't communicated to us. And guys are like, geez, I didn't know this was a problem. And women often won't mention something because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. But the thought in my head is, well, if you'd said this was a problem, I would have worked around it and I would have known that it bothered you and I would have not done that. And probably the answer is somewhere in the middle, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not even talking about things being a problem. I'm talking about needing to be told about things that exist in life that you shouldn't need to be told about. For example, you live and work in the same house, right? Everything is the same, but it's this concept of the mental load, which is who has to do all of the memory work on whose birthday it is, deciding what to go and get presents for, like your friends, but you're both friends, or your parents, or, whatever, and having to maintain the mental list of everything that needs to be done and then impart that list. It's that piece, which is, and then the requirement that it's incumbent upon the woman in the house to communicate something that you both should inherently know.
Kind of like don't piss on the toilet seat, that kind of thing?
Kind of, but that's more manners. It's kind of more... Yeah, I've got to think of...
Because I would think a lot of dudes
examples.
piss on the toilet seat, not because they're trying to piss on the toilet seat, but just because they're not paying attention. And then if somebody mentions it, they would go, oh, I don't intend to do that, so I'll watch out for it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But I think you've made a good point here, which is, why would somebody have to mention it? Why wouldn't you just care about that to start with?
Yeah, ideally and realistically, you do. I think some dumb dudes just don't think that it happens. And then when they're told about it, they're like, oh, I realize that happens. I'll watch out for that.
Yeah. I think it's not just like dumb dudes.
I do.
Because lots of really smart guys. And this is an example that will be difficult potentially for you to relate to. But say if you have children with someone, it's generally incumbent upon the mother or the woman to remember and know, even if both parents work full-time, what are the teachers' names? When RSVP for all of the birthday parties, make sure that the kids have birthday presents, come up with a way to get them to and from there, remember Teacher Appreciation Week, do all of those little bits and pieces, make sure that the kids, summer is coming up. What are the kids going to do? We have to figure all of those things out, right? Generally speaking, men will not even think about that those things might have to be part of the rhythm of the family and what needs to happen, let alone know what the name of the kids' teachers are.
Is that because of traditional roles that we've had previously in our world where men have been the breadwinners and had to go out and do stuff in the outside world and women have been the caretakers, and maybe that's where that comes from? I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying maybe that's where it comes from.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's not something that only exists in those relationships. It's something that is prevalent through even scenarios where the woman might be the breadwinner. It's something about the wiring. And I think that's why there's like a lot of conversation about it. Now, I have a more traditional role in my home, and this is an agreement that my husband and I have. And so I am not really, I don't have anything to complain about in that regard. So this isn't like me complaining about my husband. I'm very happy about the division of labor that we have. But I hear a lot of this from my friends and stuff. So, for example, a lot of women that I know cannot go on vacation or go traveling for work without arranging for their mother or their mother-in-law to come and stay in their house to take care of the children because their husband is incapable.
See, that shouldn't be. As a parent that takes care of a child, you should be able to do that at any time. And I wonder if that's by region, too. I wonder if there is a southern thing. And again, this is me having a little bit of prejudice. I wonder if the part of the country that you're in is a little bit of a place of, well, the women take care of the kids.
It's not just here.
Okay.
It's in other countries where I've lived.
Okay.
It's in, it's on the west, it's on the coast where you are, because as you know, I used to live there.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same anywhere that you go. I will say, with the exception of my gay friends, obviously there's not a gender disparity there, but there is a disparity oftentimes between the two parents. There is always one that ends up being the default parent.
And maybe that's just based on the way the relationship is. They always say in any relationship, there is one that is much more dominant and one that is much more passive. And maybe that factors into that too.
Yeah, I think maybe it does. But it's really interesting because it plays out in some fascinating ways. For example, if you look at men who are in their 40s and 50s who have a wife, kids, and that kind of thing, you'll likely be able to find somebody who has hobbies, whether it's golf, running, riding their bike, going and doing hobbies and stuff. And oftentimes, the woman in that relationship will not have hobbies. And it's not because she doesn't want to have hobbies, but her life is not necessarily her own. And she might feel things like, well, I don't have the capacity to just go and play golf for 6 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday because I don't have that sort of freedom. And there's like this whole concept of that as well. Like when you're the default parent, you don't have the freedom to just say, I'm going to go and do this, because the assumption is that you're the one who's always going to be taking care of the kids.
And I think, again, that probably comes back to traditional gender roles that have been set up in our world. That's not fair, but I think that's what it is.
Probably.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it's also just a general wiring in terms of lack of consideration. Like, I think that inherently most men are just selfish and focused on themselves. And it's just wiring.
I don't know if I agree or disagree with that. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, I had a side turn there. I want to be sure to get back to this. Also, fuck Sammy Hagar.
I don't know who that is.
Fuck Sammy Hagar. He was going to perform at Trump's big fair thing. I don't think anybody even knew that he was going to perform there. And he flew in and was doing all these messages that he wanted to perform. And it was all about unity. It's not about politics. This is about unity, man. And he was basically Vanilla Ice, like we played that Vanilla Ice clip. He was basically that guy. And it sucks because I like Sammy. Nobody will say that Sammy Hagar is a bad guy, but his whole rationalization was, this is going to be a thing where we just unify people, and he was set to perform and he didn't perform. And so you don't know, he was a rock solo artist and he was the lead singer of Van Halen when David Lee Roth left.
Oh,
and
yes, of
I
course.
really like the music that he made with Van Halen, but I still had to say, fuck Sammy Hagar, because it's either one of two things. If you show up to that Trump event looking to perform and, oh, gosh darn it, he didn't get to perform, you're either doing it for the paycheck and or you're a Trump supporter, or you are so full of ego that you think your message of unity that you plan to speak on is really going to change anything and that would make a difference in it, or maybe both. I don't think there's a good answer to why you would show up and do that.
Because you need the money.
Yeah, well, he doesn't, though. That's the other thing. He's so goddamn rich. He owns a club in Cabo, and he had his own tequila brand, and he is probably a billionaire at this point, which makes me think, hey, billionaire, maybe he supports Trump, and we don't know that. But I also then just come back to fuck Sammy Hagar for wanting to show up and do that thing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who just want to get paid.
Yeah.
Whether they're wealthy or
wanting
not.
to get paid and needing to get paid are two different things to me, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fuck Vanilla Ice, fuck Sammy Hagar. He should have just said, hey, man, let's dance. Don't worry about it. I just dance. Dance. Shut up, Sammy. I might still listen to your music, but fuck you.
It's really interesting, like the assumptions that people make about stuff. I have a friend of mine who is an influencer. She also just happens to be black. She's a She's a very smart, talented woman. She's an influencer because she's a highly successful businesswoman. And so
if you say influencer, I automatically think asshole. I think they're the same thing usually. I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, and that's the assumptions that I'm talking about.
Okay.
And she received tickets to the World Cup for her and her family to go and be in a box and to celebrate and to watch the World Cup. And the hate that she received in the comments, saying things like, they don't need the money, they're not poor, they shouldn't get tickets to something. It was so strange, or assuming that it was either well, she's a successful business person, she doesn't deserve to get tickets to this match, or on the other hand, assuming that they are charity cases because they are Black. It was so weird watching some of the comments, and it just leads me to all people are shit. Is the thing, like, all people are shit. People are shit.
I think people are shit, but then, advocating for the devil, I think there is a perception, probably rightly so, and I'm sure your friend is a wonderful person, but there's a perception, too, that the people that don't need the free goods are always the ones that get the free goods, that somebody else could benefit from that, and that it's the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. I'm sure your friend is great, but I think that's where it comes from. And the people that have horrible feelings about that are not right either. I'm just saying perception.
Yeah, true. I also think that, like, nothing's free. That's the other thing that people don't realize, is that people aren't giving away tickets to this. People aren't letting people drive a Cybertruck for a weekend and stuff for influencers because they want to do something nice for people. They are doing it because they themselves are trying to promote or sell something. And so I think the whole influencers, this is a really good example. They are gifted things with the expectation that they will develop content that will inspire other people to go out and buy the thing that they got for free. And so it's not charity.
Right.
It's a business transaction.
Many people see it as symptomatic of a terrible culture, though. Yeah. And that's not her fault. I'm just saying that's where probably the hate comes from. And it's not justified, but I'm saying that's where it comes from. And she probably does good things, but that's where that comes from.
Yeah, but it's the same as celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Celebrities also get all of that sort of stuff because they influence people to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, but...
Let's talk about this, and then we have to go, because I'm being genuine now that if there's a big gap in time, my bowels are about to explode. It very rarely, like first time in 10 years, this has happened. So we'll talk about this, and then we can blast off.
Okay.
Did you see that couple climbing the Empire State Building?
I did.
What did you think about that? What did you think about them?
Wankfest 5000, totally dumb, dangerous. I'm sure they're up there to make a political statement. Okay, great, stick it to the man. That's awesome. Turning it into a fucking proposal. Wankfest 5000. These are people looking to get famous, not actually make a political statement.
All of that you just said, I agree with. And I also think that this is the couple that's going to be broken up in 5 years. This is the couple that posts every single thing that they do, every little loving thing in Facebook and their Instagram. And, oh, look at this. Look at our ring. Look at this. And they're the people that are so trying to be into their relationship that they have to show it to everybody else, and they're trying to justify it in their mind. And that shows that they're really not that into it, and they're trying to make it look good. And that's kind of the ultimate example of this as I view it. They're trying to talk themselves into it, and I think they're going to end up hating each other down the road.
Yeah, I think living your life like an open wound and spending all of that time on the outward appearance of your relationship, it must be absolutely fucking exhausting. In the same way that if your whole life is to produce content, like, you know, we talk about this a lot. It's that we're producing content once you turn it into that, it's a performance. It's not an experience. It's not what you're experiencing, right? It's like things that are observed. It's that scientific theory that things change even whilst being observed under observation. I think it's absolutely true about relationships and your life. If it becomes performative and a performance, there's no way that you can have a genuine connection. What do you think?
I think that's absolutely true. And I think we recognize this because we are not the generation that came up with social media. I think we are a little bit more genuine, and I'm concerned about this generation that did come up. Are they going to have any kind of integrity and have any kind of conscience about doing anything when we're 10 years from now talking about this?
I worry about our sons. So in the not too distant future, my kids are going to end up going to prom or whatever. And I see a lot of traditions, I'm using air quotes in my mind here, that are happening in our culture here in the United States that I think are so fucked up. Like this concept of a prom proposal. Have you seen those?
Yeah, it has to be bigger and grander than whoever did one before, and it has to be fireworks in the sky and skywriting, and it's ridiculous.
It is, and these big grand gesture proposals that where people, arrange for secret photographers and like all of this kind of thing. It goes back to my theory around you creating this performance. It's performative. And at that point, it removes, or I feel like it cheapens the overall experience. And I worry about the expectation that sets. And it also becomes sort of unattainable for some people. Not everyone's wired like that. Not everybody who wants to get married to somebody wants to go and helicopter down onto the top of a mountain at dusk and have, release white doves. Like not everybody wants to do that. Right. And then do it with fireworks and have the doves catch fire. Not everybody wants to do that. And imagine that you're a shy kid who doesn't want to do a promposal in front of the whole football team and crazy shit. And this is what we're socializing our girls to expect.
Well, and it's what we're socializing an entire new culture to expect, because everything has to be a big spectacle and different and weird. And, I have to get a lot of clicks for that. And that's why we have asshole teenagers going on riding lawnmowers through a Walmart and getting arrested. That kind of shit is happening constantly.
Exactly. I am genuinely concerned about our youth and their mental health and the future of our country in a world where someone's self-worth is going to be tied to how popular they are on social media or how many clicks and likes and stuff. And I know this isn't new, but I'm really worried about it, and also worried about the expectations around behavior. We're conditioning our kids to be assholes. And then people are like, whoa, I'm really worried about the kids. It's like, it's your fault. You fucking did this.
Big, phony spectacle. Shut the hell away from me with that. Sons of bitches.
Shut the hell away from me.
I'm bothered that we have that great phrase and we don't use it enough within the show to justify the thing at the end. I feel like somebody tuning in new is going to hear shut the hell away from me at the end, and they'll go, oh, what is that? Where if we used it during the show more often, which I try to do and then completely forget, it would make more sense. Stupid stuff. The phrase is shut the hell away from me. And then we have Christina at the end there.
Maybe we need to work in some other of Christina's fantastic phrases throughout the show. But I feel like shut the hell away from me. It would be weird to open the show with that because it really is a parting sentiment.
It is.
Yeah.
Get the fuck really away from me. Shut the hell away from me is what that means.
Shut the hell. Yeah. Shut the hell away from me. Shut your fucking pie hole, Mom. My kids have started saying things, shut your damn mouth, Mom, like as a joke about these sorts of things.
What you do is you turn to them when they say that and you go, yeah, well, my brother is a 411. I will find that when we do Christina Clips coming up, because she's trying to say to the cop that his detained her because she crashed into an old lady in a parked car, and she's trying to threaten the cop by saying,
whilst inebriated.
Yeah, while totally hammered, that her brother is a 411, meaning to say he's a cop. And oh yeah, she hands him a box of tissues thinking it's her driver's license. It's so good. Okay, and
oh, Christina.
Everybody have a great week. I really do need to.
Have a great day. Try not to shit yourself.
I gotta get to the bathroom, yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.